Imagine this, the queen of a K-pop girl group invites you over to her place for a movie night. What man wouldn't be tempted? But just when things start getting good, her mom walks in. On the first day of school, Rae-hee is mumbling under her breath about how the principal won't stop talking. She turns around and spots a guy rolling in on his bike. Late on the first day? Turns out the students are lined up by height, and one by one, everyone finds their spot. That guy? He's in Rae-hee's class, and his name is Jun Kyeon. Every time there's an exam, Jun Kyeon shows up late and then frantically scribbles away. But when the teacher checks his answers, boom, everything's correct. Naturally, Rae-hee gets curious. After some digging, she finds out the guy's a total genius. Jun Kyeon is just different. Tap him on the right shoulder, he'll look left. Scratch his right ear, he'll use his left hand to reach around. Most people look at their nails by turning their hand palm down, but not him.
있잖아, 어찌는.
From that point on, Rae-hee can't stop watching him. The more Jun Kyeon acts this way, the more Rae-hee feels like he's onto her.
아, 왜?
니네 좋아하나?
어?
니네 좋아하냐고.
Almost annoyed that she's figured him out. One day after school, Rae-hee sees him drop a letter into a mailbox and gets curious, thinking he might have a girlfriend. The next day, she goes through his bag and finds a letter addressed to the president. Yeah, the president. He's asking the government to build a train station in his hometown. Without a station, they have to walk miles, cross a dangerous tunnel just to catch a train. Plus, the nearby station is about to be shut down because of low usage. So the villagers are staging fake lineups to keep it open. That day after school, Rae-hee tells her driver to follow Jun Kyeon, deciding to help him with his mission, but Jun Kyeon just ignores her.
우리 아빠 국회의원인 거.
Since his original letter was written in dialect, Rae-hee starts teaching him proper Korean. In exchange, Jun Kyeon has to play video games with her and even sketch her portrait because, you know, girls like a little romance, but for a straightforward guy like Jun Kyeon, it's like overloading his brain. He's practicing day and night, totally obsessed. His older sister thinks something's up. The more Rae-hee hangs out with him, the more she learns about why Jun Kyeon is always late for school and rushing through exams. He spends his time directing traffic at the tunnel to keep people safe. Rae-hee suggests, why not just put up a sign? The next day, Jun Kyeon gathered the village elders and children to explain his masterpiece. From that point on, Jun Kyeon is free, and the more Rae-hee gets to know him, the more she's hooked. But he's so oblivious, like steel-reinforced concrete. So, Rae-hee buys him some romance novels, and a few, well, more mature ones.
벌써 뭐라?
하지마!
Jun Kyeon's sister eventually finds the books and realizes her little brother is growing up. After grilling him, she finds out that he's been spending a lot of time with Rae-hee, so she starts coaching him on how to win her over. Once you turn 18, you can't dress like a little kid anymore. You have to ask girls what they like to eat and let them win when you play games. Never gonna happen.
아, 너 때문에 졌잖아!
자리 바꿨다.
Their relationship heats up quickly, but there's still no word from the president. Rae-hee suggests they make a public appeal on TV, and the best way to get on TV? Join the national quiz show. But even though Jun Kyeon is a genius, when it comes to everyday knowledge, he's hilariously clueless.
미국의 수도.
LA?
47만 8,329 곱하기 8만 5,127.
407억 1,871만 2,700...
Well, since you're so good at math, why don't you join the math competition? The first prize is the President's Award. Wouldn't that be amazing? But on the day of the competition, Jun Kyeon ended up with a bad case of diarrhea. When the results were announced, Jun Kyeon still won first place, and Rae-hee nearly jumped out of her seat in shock. But instead of meeting the president, the award was handed out by the Minister of Education. Leaving Rae-hee fuming, she declared, "Let's storm the Blue House." They took the long-distance bus, but halfway there, Jun Kyon got carsick and threw up, so the plan was scrapped. To cheer him up, He invited Jun Kyon over for a movie, but when they popped in a DVD from her parents' collection, it turned out to be an adult film. They had already started watching it, and the curiosity was hard to resist. Luckily, He's mom came home just in time to break up the awkward moments, saving them from some serious embarrassment. Jun Kyon felt that if anyone found out, He's parents might come after him for payback. The next day, He didn't show up to school. Jun Kyon, worried, wondered if someone had broken her legs.
네 그 교장실 옷이란데?
When he reached the administration office, he found He with her dad. Her father said, He's told me everything. She'll be transferring to a school in the city next year. Jun Kyon immediately dropped to his knees. It's not He's fault, it's all mine, the principal explained. He is moving to a better school in the city. We can even get you a spot. So stop talking nonsense. This was a great opportunity, and even Jun Kyon's sister encouraged him to leave the small village. But as Jun Kyon walked home that day, he saw that there had been an accident by the tunnel. A person had been hit by a train. He checked the signal lights he had set up and found that they had worn out and stopped working. The scene triggered memories from his childhood. Back then, his sister was leading a group of kids through the tunnel, rushing to avoid a train. They made it to a platform, but Jun Kyon's trophy fell. When his sister tried to grab it, she fell into the river below and lost her life. Nowadays, his eldest sister is a ghost. This was the reason he stood by the tracks every day, helping people safely through the tunnel, and why he wrote that letter to the president, begging for a station to be built so people wouldn't have to cross the tunnel anymore. After witnessing the accident, Jun Kyon decided he couldn't leave the village. On the day he left for Seoul, she waited for him for a long time, but Jun Kyon never showed up. In the end, she was picked up by her driver and left. In reality, Jun Kyon had been watching from a distance the whole time. Years passed, seasons changed, and Jun Kyon grew up. Finally, he received a response from the president saying they would build a train station in the village. But with the process of buying land, laying the groundwork, and waiting for permits, who knew how many years it would take? Jun Kyon decided, forget it, I'll build it myself. So he started constructing a station on an empty lot. One day, he received a cassette tape in the mail. It was from He, pouring out her thoughts and how much she missed him. Jun Kyon missed He too, but he felt he couldn't think about love until he'd finished building the station and achieving his dream. The villagers came to help, and soon the station started to take shape. Jun Kyon wrote a letter to He but decided not to send it. Then one day, when Jun Kyon returned home, he found someone sneaking around. It was He. She had finally come back, and her first stop was Jun Kyon's house. He told him she still planned on living with him one day, and that he should study hard, find a good job, so they could have a stable future together. Well, if that's settled, I'm not leaving tonight. No way, Jun Kyon replied. My sister's still watching. On the way back to He's place, she teased him, calling him a eunuch for not writing to her once during her absence. I did write, Jun Kyon said, handing her the letter. And next time you send me something, don't forget to include a return address. How was I supposed to send it to you? They walked hand in hand, surrounded by fireflies, creating a truly magical, romantic moment. Jun Kyon started studying hard to get into NASA, but today his sister, the ghost, said, I should have left 10 years ago, but I couldn't because I was worried about you. Unless you can truly leave the village and accept that I'm gone, I won't be at peace. Not long after, the train station was finally completed. On the day of the opening ceremony, the entire village gathered, eagerly waiting, but Jun Kyon's dad, who was driving the train, didn't even stop. He just went right past. Later, a coworker asked, why didn't you stop at the new station? Jun Kyon's dad replied, I'm just a small-time driver. I follow the rules. I don't have the authority to stop. The coworker then showed him a news article about a kid from the mountains who lost his mother and sister and wanted to build a simple station to prevent further tragedies. Jun Kyon's dad immediately called the publisher and angrily shouted, my wife died during childbirth because there was no train station to get medical help in time, and my daughter died while trying to avoid a train. None of this was my son's fault. It all happened because the trains wouldn't stop. Do you think my son can handle reading that? The editor calmly explained, don't get mad. The story came from your son himself. This isn't something I made up. You don't fully understand your son yet. The train station Jun Kyon built never officially opened, and he was about to give up his dream of NASA. His sister told him, everything you do comes from fear, but you can make it. Look at the train station you built. Yeah, but what's the point of building a station if the trains don't stop? It's not even a real station. From a distance, Jun Kyung's father saw him talking to the air, and he noticed his daughter's name carved into the station's steps. He finally understood his son's years of suffering. Later, Jun Kyung's teacher came to his dad and said, Jun Kyung is taking the NASA exam tomorrow. There's only one spot available in the whole country, but for some reason, he seems ready to give up. I hope you can figure out what's going on. That day, Jun Kyung's father set out for the city, but as he drove, he couldn't stop thinking about his son. Next stop, 21 station, the conductor called. Risking his job, Jun Kyung's father stopped the train at 21 station, got off, and ran back home to tell Jun Kyung, the train is waiting for you. But Jun Kyung replied, I lost my exam ticket. Here it is, his sister said, handing him the ticket.
내 떨어져도 뭘 안 할 거지?
내가 꼭 붙으라 했나? 도전하라 했지.
뭔 소리래? 떨어지면은 돌아올 생각도 하지 마.
This was the first time 21 station was officially used. Jun Kyung was taken to the exam. Although his teacher was supposed to escort him, his father insisted, let me take him. Have you ever been to Seoul?
아 자책이라고.
When they arrived, the gates had already closed, and they weren't letting anyone in. Jun Kyung's dad distracted the security guard. Go, son! Jun Kyung barely made it to the exam, but his hands were shaking badly during the test. Afterwards, Jun Kyung received a letter from NASA, and he cried for a long time after reading it. His father sensed something was wrong. What are you afraid of? NASA? Only fools would want to go. Don't go if you don't want to. It's not that.
못하니까 우리 아들 준계가 미국에서 1등했어.
That night, father and son had a few drinks, and for the first time, the father opened up, confessing his guilt. He wasn't distant because he didn't care, it was because he feared his son would hate him. Why did mom die? Because I was too focused on work to get her the care she needed during childbirth. Why did your sister die? Because I was too focused on work. I had her take Jun Kyung to school, and that's when the accident happened. The most painful part is that I was driving that train. Back then, Jun Kyung's dad's colleague received the news and stopped him, saying, forget everything that happened today. You didn't drive the train, I did. That's the story you'll tell. Or else Jun Kyung will never forgive you. This was why. Over the years, Jun Kyung's dad had spoken less and less to him. Both carried the weight of regret. His father's words finally lifted the burden from Jun Kyung's heart. He realized it wasn't about avoiding blame. It was about understanding that some things had to be let go. Jun Kyung suddenly remembered that on the day his sister died, his father had been on the verge of ending his own life. It was his sister's spirit who told Jun Kyung what was happening, and Jun Kyung ran to the river to call out to his father, stopping him from taking his own life. With everything now settled, Jun Kyung was finally ready to leave for school in the US. The village's train station was also officially opened, and everyone gathered for a group photo. His sister thanked Jun Kyung, saying, "You've done well," and Jun Kyung, crying, told her, "I'm finally able to accept it. I can accept your passing and my own departure from the village." With that, his sister disappeared from his life. At the airport, Jun Kyung suddenly remembered his old love, so he gave Rae-hee a call, but she didn't pick up. Oh well.
잠시만요. 문 좀.
Who greets someone they care about with a punch? Rae-hee later called back, furious, "You're leaving, and you didn't even call me?" "I did, just now." Rae-hee told Jun Kyung to go to the US, avoid other girls, and make sure he ate well. And with that, the story ends. See you next time.